Welcome to Been There Done That. This channel is all about employment tribunals, everything you might need to know and how to represent yourself. This episode is all about witnesses. We're looking at who can be a witness and how the witness process works and everything in between. So let's get started. So, first things first, who can be a witness? Well, of course, you. You are your main witness. You will have to write a witness statement, which is basically everything you wrote before on the ET1, but a bit more information about how it made you feel and other things that might help the judge and panel decide what the outcome should be at the end. Who else could be a witness? Well, you might want to ask family or friends or your partner, somebody who may have not witnessed events taking place in the workplace, but may have witnessed how they made you feel, how you were as a person while they were going on. Another good witness is ex-colleagues who also no longer work for the same employer. So they may have been there during the events, they may have witnessed some things in person or just have been aware of things, and then that is a good witness to have if they've left the employer and are happy to be a witness for you. The other kind of witness is much less likely to be a witness for you, is a current employee of the workplace that you are taking to court. It's quite common for people to think, well, Sally was there, Sally saw everything. Or, oh, I know that Janet and Stephen and Rob were all in the room when that happened, so they'll be my witnesses. It's a huge thing to ask someone to do for you in the first place, let alone to ask them to do it for you against their employer. When somebody is a witness for you, they are taking on quite a large job, because not only do they have to write out a statement and agree it, sign it, and be happy for that to be sent to lots of other people, but they also have to be willing to come to court and stand up and be questioned. And that isn't for everyone. It's quite an undertaking and not everybody is going to want to. So when you're thinking about who your witnesses are going to be, make sure that you've actually spoken to them and that they understand what's going to be required of them, because you don't want to have all these witness statements written down and then those witnesses not come to court, because if they don't come to court and the other side don't have the opportunity to cross-examine them, then their witness statements can't be used, so they're useless. So, how does it all work? Well, witness statements are exchanged quite a while before the court date. So you and the employer will take the time to get your witnesses to sit, write their statement out and sign it well in advance. A date will have been given to you by the court for when witness statements need to be exchanged. The idea behind it being done like that is to make sure that both parties have seen the witness statement so they can prepare questions before the court date, but that nobody has an advantage by being able to see somebody else's witness statements before they have had theirs put together. After you have swapped witness statements, then you begin preparing your questions ready for court and they can't be changed at that point. When you're in court, at the very beginning of that person being cross-examined, they can say, actually, I'd like to change this or I'd like to add that, but that's way, way, way later. Little tip, if you are working against an employer who is not a nice person, which is likely to be the case if they've treated you badly enough that you need to go to a tribunal, something that they may try to do is to get your witness statements first, chop and change some of the witness statements, quickly get them re-signed and send them to you later. A tip, therefore, to avoid this happening to you is send your witness statements to them first thing in the morning on the deadline day, but have them password protected. So they can only be opened with a password. You can easily do that on Word documents, for example. That way, you have ticked the box that you've sent them your witness statements. And at the same time, they can't read them yet. I did this, and the very first email I got back was, please can I have the password? And I said, yes, you can, as soon as I receive your witness statements. It's a really good tip because it stops them from being able to read your witness statements before you've got theirs, but it also stops any argument that you didn't give it to them or that you tried to hold yours back so that you could read theirs first. And then the final part about witnesses is actually on the day. So on the day, you'll have a schedule so you'll know who's going to be interviewed on which days. And largely that's agreed in advance. If you've just got a one-day case, obviously everybody needs to come to court. My case was 14 days in total, so there were different people on different days, so we had to have a relative plan, and it did chop and change. So you will want to ask your witnesses to try and make themselves available at any point in that process if you've got more than one day to plan for. On the day itself, if you're representing yourself, which I hope you are, because if you're not, you don't need this video, you will need to do some cross-examining yourself. I've got a whole other video on that, so please go and watch that video to learn how to cross-examine, what kind of questions to ask, when to hold back, what the rules are, how to stop them breaking the rules, and all of that. But on the day itself, the first person is you. You will be cross-examined by their lawyer, solicitor, representative, whoever. And then after you've been cross-examined, usually the rest of your witnesses are then cross-examined as well. And then after all of your witnesses have been cross-examined, you then cross-examine all of theirs. After a cross-examination, there can then be re-examination as well. Again, I cover all of this in my how to cross-examine somebody video, so please watch that. But after you have cross-examined one of their witnesses, their lawyer can then ask them follow-up questions. And there are rules about what they can and can't do, and it matters. So please go watch my cross-examination video next. I hope this video has helped you. Please come and watch the rest of my videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.